we mean the components that are physical. Since they are physical, they are supposed to be even tangible. So you can either say physical and tangible or tangible components of the computer. So when you look at these components, they are categorized into basically 4. So if a question comes asking for categories of computer hardware, we think of 4 categories. Okay, do you mind sharing any if you have any category with you? Yes, do you have any?
Input devices.
Okay, that's a good one. Any other?
Storage devices. Output devices. And processing devices.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So basically that is what the learning activity wanted. You explain the 4 categories of computer. You've talked of the input hardware, and from the word input, this means entering something, isn't it? So as you give your category as input hardware, I'm not sharing the screen because we do not have power here. I'm using a phone and I don't have the PDFs on my phone, they're on the laptop, but I think you can grasp everything in the head, or you can even note down something. So we talk about the 4 categories of computer hardware as you've listed them. Input hardware. So from the word input, it means entering. So when you talk of input hardware, you can talk of the devices that are used to enter data into the computer, or you can say these are devices that are used to enter commands into the computer. So whatever device you use to enter data in the computer is an input device or an input hardware. And these devices, they normally send the data or the commands that you enter into the computer to the processing unit, and that's where we shall look at the processing hardware. So we've said that input hardware, they are devices that enter data into the computer. Can you brainstorm some examples of input hardware?
Input hardware, we have the keyboard.
Sorry, examples of input hardware, any device that is used to enter data into the computer.
Keyboard.
Okay, that is one.
We have a mouse.
Okay.
We have scanners. Joystick. We have the microphone.
Okay, those are good examples. There are very many. There is gamepad, barcode reader, touchpad, digital camera, webcam, and others. So whenever we talk about input hardware, think of those examples. However, the examples are also further categorized into others. We shall look at them. Okay, so we look at the other category. You talked of processing devices. So from the word processing, as you enter your data into the computer, that data is going to be processed. And as it gets processed, it is either going to actually get processed before getting stored, or you can even process it and then after it is gotten stored on your device. So processing devices are basically devices that will help you in the processing, and the basic processor we have is the CPU. CPU is central processing unit in full, and yeah, it is the brain of the computer or the major processor. So the processing is done by the CPU, which is the brain of the computer. And this will involve transforming the process of turning data into information, that is data processing. So whenever we talk of processing devices, think of those devices that will help out to turn data into information. So data, these are raw facts. So we all know that the data we have before it is being typed into the computer is raw facts. So that is the data. Then information is the processed data. So after entering your work into the computer and after processing, it is called information, no longer data, because information, and by the information is normally in soft copy. So you have your work on your computer, that is information. Then you have your work in the book, that is data. So after you typing whatever you have in the book, after you typing it in the computer, it is going to be processed by CPU, and then it is turned into information. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, then you talked of another category as storage devices. So from the word storage, we have store. To store is to keep. So, when you talk of storage hardware, you can talk of the devices that are used to store data for future use. Or you can say that they are devices that are used to keep data for future use. And we have very many examples of storage devices or storage hardware. Can you brainstorm some of the examples? Hey, she's off, kumbe. Okay, Shania, you're back. We were looking at the examples of storage devices. First, did you get what storage devices are? Okay, can you brainstorm some of the examples of storage devices?
We have tape,
Mm,
compact disc,
mm. Oh, though your volume is very low.
hard drive discs,
Mm,
floppy disk,
yes.
USB flash drives,
Mm.
mm,
Okay, thank you. There are very many. We have the compact disk, you've talked about it. We have the floppy disk, flash disk, hard disk, jazz disk. Yeah. So we shall also look at, with time, we shall look at the difference between storage medium and storage device, because those two terminologies are different. Okay, the other category, the last one you talked of, is the output devices. So these output devices, from the word output, they give out. So these devices will help you bring out whatever you want to bring out. If it is printing, yeah, that device will help you out. So output devices, they are basically devices that will help you retrieve information from the computer. And they are devices with which one can display, represent, and produce information. So output devices can help you display information, and they can also help you produce information. That's why we say that these are devices that help you, that retrieve information from the computer. So said that these devices can help you display information. All these devices can help you produce information. So you can think of those devices that are used for displaying information. They are best examples. And then you can also look at those devices that will help you produce information. Okay, you can brainstorm and then give me the examples of output devices.
I think those that display, we have a monitor,
Mm. Okay, others?
yes,
I've
we
heard
have
we have the monitor.
we have projectors,
Okay, you've talked of the monitor, we have the monitors, we have the projectors, we have the printers. You can talk of the plotters and then the speakers. So basically, those are some of the examples of the output devices. Okay. Do you have any inquiry about the 4 categories?
yes.
So you can go back and prepare a presentation about that, well explained, and then submit for marking. When do you hope to to get back your laptop?
Probably by tomorrow.
Okay, by tomorrow. Okay. I will send you another activity, I think tomorrow in the evening.
Okay.
You work on it as well and then submit.
Okay.
All right. Okay, if we do not have any other inquiry, we can end here for today.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon.
Yes, thank you, teacher.